time slot. Tonight, or this afternoon on the Convergence Report, it's going to be take a look at the trending topics, take a look at what's going on with Twitter, of course my Facebook karma, and I want to take a look at what's happening, or what's the expectation in 2015 with cybersecurity. We'll kind of take a quick look at that as far as some of the things we're trending in. Of course, take a look at the normal community events that we want to make sure that we want to know people what's happening so you can get your tickets, get to the events, and not miss out. So that's what we're looking for today on the Convergence Report. And don't forget, we tell everybody, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are now live streamed directly through YouTube, so you can go straight there and watch us. Okay, and you can go to our website, Knoxstrom Digital Media, and you can see us, all the shows, Beyond Incredible, with Ashley Nicole and Shay Rochelle, and of course Betty and Go, and the Convergence Report. You can see that any time of the day to get caught up with the latest and greatest and best viewings on Knoxstrom TV. So don't forget, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Okay, so, and I really kind of started off this way. I started off with our Facebook karma. That's what I really like. If I see it, then I report on it, and I talk about it, whether or not it's all the social media aspects, whether or not it is on Twitter, specifically if it's on Facebook, and I pull it off, and I will report on what is trending out there this week or the last couple days. The biggest, like it always seems to be the biggest news of the day, and it's what's happening with what we call cybersecurity, and we're looking at the worries of cybersecurity, and it's an article that at this time here I'm going to try the true convergence, where I kind of pulled it off from the newspaper, from Post Media, and they say they have 8 issues out there that they're really taking a look at in 2015 and saying is what people need to be aware of when it comes to cybersecurity. And said it could be scary. And it says, doctor, I have a problem with my data. Here we're going again. How can we secure our data? There are so many different ways. We need to be aware that when we upload and put things up, are they being protected? If the doctor's going online or starting to save or not go online, he's starting to go from paper to electronic, are your files all being taken care of? So it's something, again, when you talk to your doctor, you need to ask that question, are my files safe? Because the hackers, I'm sorry, every time they say that it's under control as far as cybersecurity goes, we have another instance with the federal government in Canada. So you're going like, is it secure? Geez, the little leaks keep on happening everywhere. Is your cyber-connected car? That's the thing a lot of people, I think they don't realize, especially as we're going into the next new wave. I think General Motors is one offering the Wi-Fi, okay, like really extreme Wi-Fi, so you can get the hotspot or get the free Wi-Fi from where you're driving around, which what makes the kiddies happy in the back seat, as everything is super connected. But is all your information safe as you're driving around? It's great to have the access, okay, but are you now protected? And especially, that's your own personal information as you're just kind of driving through city to city, town to town, and catching every hotspot along the way. So you got to. That's one of the ones that are telling people you need to take a hard look at that. Credit card data tells a lot about you. They're saying you need to continue to check, and whether or not you use your credit card everywhere. They say what kind of information's on there. You may want to start asking those questions when you're signing up for a new credit card. It's not so much about what the rate is, okay, and then are there's going to be you don't have to pay the fees, okay, but what information is accessible if I get hacked, or if Target gets hacked, or if Walmart gets hacked, or at any other location that you're using the credit card at. So again, it's the questions we now need to ask. At one time, it was nothing, but this whole new cyber world is bringing up all these issues, and that's what they're telling people to look at. Of course, everybody wants to go smartphone. Actually, there's people. The school of thought really and truly is. The school of thought actually is to go back to the old flip phone that wasn't connected to anybody if you just wanted to have safe conversations. But if you continue, we all want to use a smartphone, we have to know whether or not it is secure, whether or not that somebody, how easy it's going to be hacked just as you're walking around, talking on the phone. People don't put these things down. Again, going back to being in the car, I mean, not the driver, but the passenger who's using their phone. We need to, again, when you're sitting down and you're making that smart choice, whether it's Apple, BlackBerry, Android, you need to sit down and make that salesperson, make it part of the discussion. Okay, how secure is my phone? Okay, they need to start doing some of those things. Let's see, the old source codes by your bed in the wires, they say, and this is like, they're looking at some of the older coding systems that were still being used and not being upgraded. So we need to question, when you're looking at, we're giving our informations to the government, what are they doing to protect our cybersecurity? They seem to always, they want our data, they want to take our data, but how easily are they losing our data? That's why, again, another outbreak or another attack through the Canadian federal government, and we're going, okay, I thought it was all taken care of after the Heartbleed attack, but here we go again. Man, these hackers are getting better and better and getting through every wall that's there, jumping over all of them and getting our information, and that's what the scariest part is. Okay, and even looking at Google. Okay, looking at the Google Doc, all those type of, and I guess I was talking about a little bit before, like the iClouds, the Sky Clouds, the Apple Clouds, all those ones at the end. We're sending stuff up there and putting it. How secure is our documents? We need to know that. We need to know what kind of protection for people that use that. There's a lot of people that still do the normal email thing, but a lot are saying, you know what, we can all pilot in the middle here, and everybody will have access to it. Well, who's everybody? Okay, I don't mind if it's my business, I don't mind if it's my company, I don't mind if it's the salesperson I'm working with. Okay, I don't want it to be the hacker. Okay, so they can design these new ways for us to communicate or to transfer information, but it's got to be secure, and that's one of the things. And of course, global espionage and cyber warfare, will it grow? Of course it's going to grow. The biggest one was, and it was simple, I was following it, it was simple as that new movie that's come, The Interview movie, and here was, they were saying that Sony was hacked, and South Korea is going to start the Third World War over the fact that they were trying to hack the information, stop the movie. That's pretty extreme, okay, to get the world politics in regards to a movie, but they show you the great lengths of there's the global security there, okay, and what are countries doing to access information? China's another one. China's one that's constantly being accused of, a lot of it's the United States, as far as getting information, and China's, hey, they steal your jobs, they steal the stuff we used to manufacture, they'll steal whatever they need to do governmentally because China wants to be the best, not the best, they want to be number one at all costs. So again, that's something you need to question and ask people what's happening out there to protect. We can have this cyber world, great, but we want a safe cyber world. That's what we want. So anyways, that's how we start with that. Look at the hack attack, world's worries of cybersecurity, okay, and that's how we kind of start off the show. Twitter, okay, we kind of jump right into Twitter, and it is, and it was, what is it? Twitter got out early, I guess, before New Year's Eve, as far as what was happening on Twitter in 2014, and they said basically they've identified it was, and where's my phone? I should actually do it right. It's the year of the selfie is basically what they're saying. So anybody, it's the year of the selfie. Okay, so that's what you need to do if you want to make sure. And I did one. Actually, I'm not going to take a picture today, but what I did was I made sure I took when Knockstrom Digital Media and Knockstrom TV, we covered we were at the press preview for the North American International Auto Show last year, and the first thing I did is I took a selfie of myself okay, at the press preview to let everybody know we were there. So again, I was part and parcel of doing some of that. And they said some of the top 5 other trending tweets was, of course, the World Cup was, of course, heavy on Twitter. Bring back our girls, really, that one really kind of took off as far as becoming a huge Twitter following. The Indy ref, the Hong Kong protests, and Black Lives Matter. Of course, that's a little bit more recent. And I don't think they have. I Can't Breathe. I think if they really took a hard look and kind of readjusted it, I Can't Breathe seems to be the one that's really smoking hot on Twitter, and probably would pass a couple of these ones right here now. But anyways, that's what's happening on Twitter with everything else. And Twitter really, and that's what I said about social media. Twitter really is. If you talk, it's the most immediate way for people to find their news, and that's where they're going if they have the access, especially on a smartphone. And people just think I talk to friends and they still think it's only on your phone. I said, no, you can get on your desktop, and they go, oh, geez, I can. And so what people are making Twitter a news source. The problem is that it may not always be a reliable news source, as you're basically, it's anybody reporting, it's anybody throwing out, rumors are thrown out, hashtags are put on everything. So you've got to be careful with the Twitter reports. You have to get it, then go to a reliable news source and say, okay, what, like for example, when they had the shooting in Ottawa, people immediately flipped back to CBC. Okay, they took it from Twitter, no doubt, but they went back to CBC and found that even CNN was making mistakes because they were grabbing their information strictly from Twitter. Which, so again, you got to be careful. It's good for the hot hot-hitting TMZ news, okay, but sometimes it doesn't always work the best, okay. And here was some, as far as this was one of my Facebook trending topics, and it's the HMNC White Horse caused a bit of a problem. There was an order return. I got it on the bottom of the picture there. Order return from Exercise United States in July, and this is July. And finally, the report came out after sailors were accused of sexual misconduct, shoplifting, and drunkenness when they went ashore. And again, I'm going to thank Russ Walker with his Flickr pic here. So this is the shot of the ship returning, and really it came down to that they imposed an almost total ban on drinking at sea after a warship has been recalled for an international election because the inebriated members of the crew got into trouble. You're allowed to drink off duty, but really got into whether or not you should have access and you should have alcohol when you're on this ship, which would lead to having a little bit of pre-party, the old pre-party before you hit ashore. So I'm going to say there certainly the Royal Canadian Navy is not in the spirit of things, okay, as far as giving the sailors what they had. But again, the sailors caused a problem. So is it too much of a good thing? The first thing, the rule is now you take it away. Okay, so that is what's happened to the crew on the HMSC, okay, White Horse. And here I kind of take a different take on this one. This one kind of trending a bit on the Facebook is where the news came out today, and I assume it's on all news agencies, and it really has more of a duplication, more of a couple other things that go along with it. But it is that huge sale. I'm going to call it a sale because it's not a merger, but $12 billion merger between Tim Hortons and Burger King. Although we're still there's people questioning whether or not it's a true merger or not, because we figure that Burger King is the major player at the end of the day. They'll operate initially, and we'll say initially because the changes will happen down the road. It's a Tim Hortons, I guess, attempt again, one more attempt to break into the American market. They've made some inroads over the years. It was not working. So they basically, when they were with Wendy's, I believe it was with Wednesday, they kind of pulled them back. They didn't want to be part of it anymore. And then at this point in time, Burger King is going to give them the open way to do it. So a $12 billion merger has been finally approved, and stock and cash, and following approvals from Ottawa and the Competition Bureau because they want to make sure that they took care of that. And then, but with that, I wanted to kind of do a story a couple weeks ago, and I just wasn't able to with the elections, and I'll tell you right now, my sob story hurt my eye, and I wouldn't be on camera with a red eye, and it wasn't pink eye, but a red eye. But here it was. It talked about Tim Hortons going up in price 10 cents, and happened in November time frame. And that's basically, they say that's 10-cent increase. And here we go. It's 10-cent increase. And they said, no, that's really only on the small. If you go to the medium section, 18-cent increase. And it really kind of popped out the price. And here we have a $12 billion merger at the end of the day. And really it was saying, it said Barry Kroll at Rock and Roll Kroll. This is what I did pull it off of Twitter. And so I remember being able to get a coffee for a loonie. Now with the increase, it's almost going to be $2. And he says crazy prices. Okay, so bottom line is, and this was something from a TV news article, and I was kind of building in, the merger, the $12 billion. We try to think about how much money that is, and I guess at the end, and then not the end, but with the increase in the price of coffee, trying to figure who's affected by all of that. And you got to look at the students. When I was going to school, the students, a lot of people. You could think that maybe it's the people driving to work every day. That's fine, but this little bit of increases are going to affect people more than you think. Because I don't know what happens. It's almost like a McDonald's hamburger. They get so addicted to having their Tim Hortons, whether or not it's the size of cup or the coffee itself. But that's what happens. So I kind of looked at it at the same time. Was that Tim Hortons was having a food drive? Okay, so here we have the increase in your coffee and a $12 billion merger, and then here we go and they say, please put some cans in a bag and drop it off at Tim Hortons, and then we'll take credit. Okay, so what I tell people is, if you still got your bag, you've got a fireplace, throw it in the fireplace and burn it up. And I'm not saying not help people. Okay, don't anybody beat me up yet. Okay, so I got this in the mail, and this is from the Downtown Mission. okay, and it says give a person, a hungry person a Christmas dinner at $3.11. You can do it kind of different ways, okay. Don't put the bag or the cans in a bag. Either take it straight down to the mission yourself, okay, or you know what, if you'll probably get an envelope right from them, you could commit to the $3.11 or give them $20, which feeds about 6 people, okay. Do it hand in hand. Don't let a $12 billion corporation who raised the price of coffee just before the merger was okayed, okay, to make sure all their consumers pay more money for a coffee.
Free coffee if you get a can?
I don't believe so. I've never, nope, that was the always thing. The whole thing, and that was my producer Alex asking a question, and what it is, he says, hey, you get a free coffee for dropping this bag off? At no time do you get a free coffee for dropping the bag off. They just want the goods, okay? They want the money and the goods, okay? And that's my take on that. So, do you remember that? And the other one, yeah, so junior achievement, we're going to talk about this a little bit as far as, again, promoting stuff in the community, which we think is so very, very important. I'm just trying to, sorry, I got my paperwork. Oh, there it is, pitch it. Okay, so this is from the Windsor Essex Junior Achievement, and and this is where we film right here, 720 OLED, the Downtown Windsor Business Accelerator that supports entrepreneurship, okay? The Junior Achievement does it, okay, as does WeTech, okay? And we are entrepreneurs. We're trying to hit the big time, and this is where we get our start. So how do you get your start? If you support it, okay? Are you a fan of Dragon's Den? Okay, if all that's happening to you, Junior Achievement is holding a Pitch It event, okay, in the event next Windsor, or it's Thursday, December 18th from 6 to 7:30 p.m., okay, at the Windsor Star News Cafe, okay? 2 companies who have been part of our after-school company program with pitching their business models to a panel of 3 local celebrity judges, and there's going to be a grand prize, a multimedia marketing package provided by Blackburn Radio, Snapped, Windsor, Windsor.ca, and of course, Knockstrom Digital Media will be part of that. And they say the total kind of price package for these young entrepreneurs is going to be valued around $4,000. It's open to the public, so come out and be part of the live audience. Let's give. You want something new, something different to do? Come pop out, support the kids, support entrepreneurship, support what the changes people are trying to make in Windsor for a better Windsor at the end of the day. I have to get as far as that. So, anyways, it is to it. So don't forget the Dragon's Den type of format at the Windsor Star News Cafe on December 18th at 6 o'clock. And it's going to be that type of season here. Okay, so it's the Windsor Spitfires, and I'm kind of doing this to Windsor Spitfires, but I'm kind of doing it for localsportsreport.com. And I want people to know that it's Aurora Steam, and they're having one more big ticket giveaway for 2014. So if you want it, it's 2 adult tickets, 1 parking pass, Crown Royal Room access to see the Windsor Spitfires versus the Plymouth Whalers on Wednesday, December 31st, 2014 at 2:05. And it says start your New Year's Eve off with a rousing game of hockey from the Windsor Spitfires, who have been hot lately. They lost the other night, but they're basically getting out of the basement, clawing their way back up toward hopefully a playoff spot. So they're definitely there. The deadline to enter is midnight Thursday, December 18th. Okay, and you'll be notified via Facebook. So watch your Facebook, and then again, Facebook Karma. You see it, and you win, and maybe you got the package, and then somebody from Aurora Steam will drop it off for you. Okay, and this is the big one, and we were there. I was there at the press conference. I kind of made sure I got the information and what it is, and I've got all the data here. Clash at the Coliseum too. Okay. Caesars, January 21st, 2015, is going to be at 7:30. It's going to be all general admission. In saying that, general admission tickets for adults will be $24. Okay, senior and students is going to be $16. Children is going to be $14. And again, 7:30 at the Coliseum. And we're going to let people know and I'll build it right into it. Okay, from my producer Alex. We're giving away, Knockstrom Digital Media is giving away 2 adult tickets to the December 27th game and 2 for the Caesars Coliseum from Knockstrom. Winners for the 27th will be announced next week, and for the Coliseum on January 20th. Okay, and I need you to throw me. Okay, well, how do they enter, Alex?
Yes, like Knockstrom Digital Media on Facebook.
Okay, just like Knockstrom Digital Media on Facebook, which we tell you to do that all the time. you like it, and you'll be entered for the draw, and then you'll get the announcements from there. So that would be a great thing to win 2 tickets. The regular Windsor Express games are exciting enough, so that'd be an excellent way to get a.
And also they like the Incredible page and Facebook.
Oh, and Beyond Incredible page on Facebook. Also, that's also included. Okay, so if they like there, okay, if they like both entities, okay, and like it on Facebook, and you'll be entered. Knoxon Digital Media and at Beyond Incredible. Okay, got it. Okay, we have Ashley Nicole is in the room, so she joined in on the promotion, which is really, really good. Okay, so I'm liking that.
Kids are free on December 27th.
Oh, okay, and I'm getting last little bit of information from Ashley, and kids are free for the December 27th game anyway, so the tickets. Okay, 13 and under are free. Okay, and I've got to keep on doing the sports flavor for as I'm kind of finished. Still got a little bit of time left on the show, and I normally each year kind of do a Lions. I was trying to follow the Lions, but we kind of got away from it because we were doing the election. I guess I should have built all the candidates into and say who do you think was going to win this week? Because if you're watching any Lions game this year, the last couple have been pretty good, but every other one was like right down to the bare bones, last minute, one ditch pass, and they can't win on the road on any given week. So the Lions have made it very challenging. But here we are again with an excellent record of 9-4 going forward. We're technically the Lions are in the playoffs as we speak. They're going up against the Vikings. At home, they should be favored, and not trying to put any jinx on them whatsoever. But a lot of the sports reporters are constantly. If you go to the ticket, 97.1, they're talking about the Green Bay game, which is happening in about 3 weeks from now. And Jim Caldwell, the coach of the Lions, and any other fan or fans like me say, I'm going to listen. Okay, we're just playing Minnesota this week. We're not playing Minnesota, Chicago, and Green Bay. Okay, focus on this game. And if we can focus and get the job done at home, at Ford Field, then that's one more little step that we've made, one little more baby step, and maybe we make the playoffs. We have a couple other interesting games. Whether they help us or hurt us, we'll find out once the games are over. Philadelphia against Dallas and Seattle at San Francisco. Very, very critical games. All 3 of those games together will really kind of juggle up the playoff spots depending upon the outcomes. So again, and one report for the Lions game for anybody that hasn't picked up on it yet, the game has been the time has been switched to 4:30. Okay, and they do that sometimes. They want it to be a national game, so I guess they've selected whatever game it is for the 1 o'clock game, but they moved the Lions and Vikes to 4:30. So. If you got there too early, it could be a long tailgate for you. Okay, but if you're just going over for the game, trying to grab some ticks, remember the game starts at 4:30 or 4:35. Okay. Oh, you know what? I didn't think I was going to have having this much time, but you know what? From following all the election stuff, I got everything there, so I can kind of play around with this. I call it. It's not this week's who's in, who's out, because now we know who's out. To me, it's our lame duck mayor. He was a lame duck mayor, Eddie Francis. And even as the end of the election, and I was using Twitter, I was using social media. I was playing, okay, as far as watching the election. And quite honestly, if I was doing in my pool, in my who was going to win mayor pool, I didn't do too well. But Drew Dilkins was the new mayor. Took a nice flight to Qatar. Am I saying it correctly? Qatar. And in regards to the FINA competition that is coming to Windsor now, supposedly, again, they want to bring some good news back. So supposedly there'll be a convention now tied to the FINA swimming competition. So that's how they kind of started. But really and truly, we're hoping that the new mayor-elect, we'd like to see him speak. It's kind of funny as we go forward. In watching every little bit of news that comes up, that it just seems like I don't know if that election was kind of surreal. The way they're answering the questions now are completely different to how they were answering the questions before in regards to all of a sudden major changes that nobody knew about as far as impact assessments with Chrysler Canada. Yeah, well, no, we budgeted for that money. As far as what they're going to do to come up with a new plan. I guess council has all kinds of challenges. There's all kinds of derelict rental properties out there and the city, city was supposed to be fixing them or making landlords fix them, and that wasn't happening. That's going to cost us some money. And then now they're also talking about the fact that just recently I just read a little kind of letter to the editor in the Windsor Star, and somebody's questioning, saying, oh, they're only going to hold the taxes down, guaranteeing that for 2015. But 2016, we really don't know what's going to happen at that point in time. And they're going, well, why? Because the whole election, the mandate was, oh, it won't go up in my whole, the 4 years that Drew Dilkens was mayor, and it's just kind of the foot in the mouth disease is really beginning to happen very quickly for Mr. Dilkens. So, and I'm just kind of curious, and I always asked, I kept always asking, and I got caught a couple times. It was sour grapes they kept telling me, is that it seemed like Drew Dilkens couldn't answer a question, and Eddie Francis, even up to the point of the time that Dilkens took over, Eddie was still answering for Dilkens, and I just keep wondering whether now he's with the Windsor Family Credit Union, how many times he'll answer for Drew Dilkens, or continue to say, well, you know what, when I was mayor, okay, this is what the plan was, and when I was on council, this is what we did, okay. So I wonder how much latitude he'll get from his new employer to be able to keep supporting Drew Dilkens and being at all the Drew Dilkens events, because I know Drew Dilkens is almost like he's like the little dummy sitting on Eddie's lap, and you kind of saw that in Ken Graston's thing. So I don't know. You take the hand away, can he talk? I don't know. I guess we're gonna find that out. So anyway. No, it's okay. Hey, I try to build a little bit of humor into the show, and that actually worked. So then I call it Launch the Blog, but anyways, this is my little Captain Web, and as I guess I need to build a little bit more material. Build more material in the so before I launch the blog. Okay, I'm going to try to find my piece of paper here. Totally unorganized. That's the first show I've done in a very, very long time, and it was actually my other co-producer, Emilio, who said, we're talking about trending topics, and he kind of said, oh, there's a trending topic right there. And of course, I'll put it up to the camera. And if you couldn't have trending topics unless you were talking about Bill Cosby. And I will admit right off the bat that Bill Cosby initially was my hero. I used to have a comedy album with Bill Cosby, not a CD, not a flash drive or anything downloaded from YouTube, an actual album. And the reason I'm saying it's still trending, like I had a group of people over at the house last night, and sure enough, it comes up. That whole conversation, Bill Cosby, and did he do it? First of all, it's did he? Well, we kind of believe now that he did do it. We do believe that. We do believe that happened. And then now you get into the grand debates onto whether or not should it be brought up, should it be going to court. The statute of limitations are gone. Why did everybody? It wasn't one person, not two people, not three people. It was 5 people. It was 10 people. It happened at Playboy Mansion. And people say, well, Playboy Mansion, I can understand that because it's a Playboy Mansion. Okay, but then what about this person, this office assistant that happened to, or the younger person that had a small role on the actual Cosby show? And then she's come up and said, well, nothing happened to me. I kind of got out of that. I kind of finagled my way away from him. He seems to spend, Bill Cosby seems to spend a lot of time in a robe. Okay, so he seemed to have a robe on, trying to have people drink stuff. But it seemed to be very, very, not familiar, very consistent. Every story seemed to be very consistent. So whatever kind of drug he had been using, or something that kind of made you sleepy for a bit, and not out for too long. Whether or not, I guess the term nowadays would be ecstasy or something like that. But it actually is quite. It's to me, looking at it, you just want to get somebody get the court to bring it out, either make it go away, okay, Cosby to apologize, or do the admittance, or will he do a deathbed admittance 10 years from now, or whatever. It is one of the heavy topics that are out there. Everybody's talking about it at all levels, whether you're the kid that watched the Cosby Show, or you were somebody in more my generational, where I remember Cosby as a very, very funny comedian. Did a lot of different movies and shows throughout the 70s. Okay, but really, which is he, the man behind the mask? I guess, and it sounds like more so that he is. I'm looking for any direction on time, Alex. Okay, are we there? But 2 more minutes. Okay, so 2 more minutes, I'll finish it up. And I said I'm going to put the paperwork together now. We were at the North American International Auto Show in 2014. And I'm going to be sending in the paperwork. We want to be there again. So again, we're hoping that we get the media credentials like we did last year and be able to report on it. We did a really good job as far as we did some live streaming right there. We can't wait for that. And we do the live streaming, and also we actually do build lead-in shows up to the auto show to let everybody know the pricing. So if you want your auto show information, you can definitely get it from Knoxstrom Digital Media. And of course, I'll finish with our last commercial for Knoxstrom Digital Media. Like us on Facebook. Please check us out. And one of the things that we are doing, and we're going forward with it, is to live stream weddings. And if you want your wedding live streamed, to whether or not it's to people that can't attend, or people from a different country, or even from from province that they can't drive down, they're kind of locked in. Okay, live streaming would be something to take a look at. Very, very affordable pricing. Please check us out. Check us out at www.knoxstrom.com. Knoxstrom.com. Okay, Knoxstrom.com. Okay, take a look at the pricing. And come visit us at the wedding show. We're going to be there also, and then you get some more information pricing then. But again, it's something. People, they're doing it in Toronto. They're doing it over in Michigan. And here, if you want your first kick at the cat at who's doing it down here in Windsor, Essex, it is Knoxstrom and Digital Media. And from there, I'm going to say thank you very much. Again, a little rough around the edges for that first show in a month. Okay, but watching Convergence Report with Mike Thomas right here at the Downtown Windsor Business Accelerator. Stay tuned for Beyond Incredible with Ashley Nicole and Shay Rochelle. Okay, is that coming up very shortly? And I'm not sure, at 2 o'clock. At 2 o'clock. Okay, and the other one was no. Okay. It's going to be next week. Okay, so stay tuned. 2 o'clock for Beyond Incredible. I'll see you on Tuesday. Come back on Tuesday. A quick one. Come back on Tuesday. I'm Mike Thomas.